Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on introduction to railings. In this video we will be going over how to create railings in Revit and how to change the properties of railings, such as adding in balusters, changing the rail types, rail materials, and even adding in more and more rails. Basically this entire video is dedicated on how to get comfortable in using railings. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing I would like to do is that I would like to add a floor, so I can add railings to it. Go to the level 1 plan, go to the floor. Okay, just a simple floor would do. Okay, click on the green check mark. Okay. Go to the 3D view over here. Okay, and now that we have added the floor, I would like to add railings to it. Go back to level 1, click on railings. There are multiple options available on how to add railings. What I would like to do is I would like to go with pick lines, and I'd like to give an offset of, let's say, 5 inches. Okay, 1, 2 and 3. Click on the green check mark over here, go to the 3D view, and voila. Let's change the visual style to be realistic. Okay, and I would like to change the color of the floor plan of the floor as well. I don't like it, it's too gray. How do we do that? Go to modify, click on paint. Let's make it door panel white is okay. Let's do it white. Okay. So now that we've added the railings, I would like to get across some important terminology, some terms. This top horizontal beam or element that you guys are seeing, this is what you call the railing, and these vertical columns that you guys can see, these are called the balusters. Just some common terminology that I wanted to get across. So how do we change the properties of a railing? How can we modify it? How can we add more rails to it, more balusters to it? It's not that hard. Select the railing over here, go to the properties. The first thing that you guys can do is select the different rail types that are available here, such as glass panel, bottom, a bunch of other rail types that are available, but I won't be working with these. I would like to go into the main depth of this concept of railings. So select the railings, click on edit type over here. As you select edit type, there are multiple options that you guys can see, which you guys can play around with. The first concept, the first option that I would like to go over is top rail. Top rail is this element over here, and the height of a top rail is 3 feet. Let's make it 5 feet. Let's see what happens. Click on apply. If I could just look, I gave it a height of 5 feet, and all of a sudden the rail is all the way up to 5 feet. Let's make it 7. Apply. Obviously we won't be going with 7. Let's just leave it at 4. Apply. Okay, that's good. And you can change the height of the top rail from here, and you can even change the type of top rail. Like for example, this is a 2 by 2 rectangular. We can even make it circular. How do we do that? Click on the icon over here, rectangular, handrail, 2 by 2, the profile. You can select any profile of your choice. Let's say for example I select circular handrail. Click on OK, and as you can see, it has been made circular, but I would like to stick with the rectangular 2 by 2. Just select it, click on OK, click on OK. So this is how you change the height and the profile of the top rail. Go back to edit type. Now what I would like to do is that I would like to add a few railings, one in the middle and one in the bottom. Now how do you do that? The rail structure icon right here, click on the edit icon next to the rail structure, and I would like to do is I would like to add a few profiles, one for the middle rail and one for bottom rail. Click on insert, 1, 2. Let's name this middle rail, and let's give this one a name of bottom rail. Let's see, sorry, bottom rail. For the middle rail, I would like to give it a height of, let's say, 3 feet, and for the bottom rail, let's make it 0 feet 4 inches. Click on apply, and yeah, that's looking out pretty good. And I would also like to give it a material. I don't want to leave it like completely dark. Click on the material category over here. Let's give it any material of your choice. I would like to give it door frame for now. Click on edit, door frame for this one as well. Okay, click on apply, and yeah, the materials have been changed to door. So that's how you add multiple railings in. So click on OK. We're done with the railing. So yeah, now as we're done with the railings, you guys can play around, even change the profiles. There are multiple options available, such as circular handle, elliptical handle. It's entirely up to you on the type of railing that you're looking at. I will just leave it at here. The next thing that I would like to go over is this vertical column, this vertical profile over here, which is known as a baluster. We can play around with the properties of a baluster. So click on the baluster placement, click on edit over here, and as you can see, there are multiple options, multiple properties available for a baluster. For example, where does the baluster start from, where does it end on, the base where it starts from, the top where it ends on, the distance between the balusters, and a bunch of other useful options. So let's say I want the base offset to be 0 feet 4 inches. Okay, and let's say the distance that I want is 0 feet 6 inches. Click on apply. See, if I were to make it 0 feet 7, click on apply. Let's just leave it at 0 feet 5. That's good. Base offset has been set to 4 inches because I want the railings to start from the bottom rail and not from the base. So that is good. And you can even change the type of baluster that you have. Let's say I want to make it baluster round. Apply. Okay, that's too thick. Let's just make it 1. Okay, that's good. So that is how you add in vertical balusters, how you can change the properties. And yeah, let's just click on apply, click on OK, click on OK, and see what we have here. Okay, this is looking out to be not so bad, not too shabby. And another thing that I would like to go over is how to add like corner posts to give it that more aesthetic look. So how do you do that? First of all, you need to have your corner post loaded in. Just go to the insert tab over here, click on load family, and what you need to do is to go to the US Imperial library that you guys might have on your system, go to the railings, balusters, and we have a bunch of balusters available. I would like to go with the post square with ball. You can go with any baluster of your choice. I would like to go with this one. Click on open, and now that the baluster has been loaded in, select the railing, click on edit type, click on the baluster placement, click on edit over here. And now what I would like to do is I would like to change the start corner end post. I would like to make it square with ball, 6.25 inch. Yeah, square with ball over here as well, over here as well. We have a bunch of options available, such as a base offset, top element, top offset. So this is what we are getting. This is what we ought to get. Let's say if I want to change the top offset to, let's say, 0 feet 4, and what do I get? Basically just increases the height, that's it, nothing else. Just makes the baluster a bit taller. I just like to leave it at 0 feet for now. Okay, that's good, and you can even change the base, such as where do you want the baluster to start from. I would just like to leave it at host. So click on OK, click on OK again, and let's see what we get. Not that bad. Turning out to be looking very good. Now another thing that I would like to go over is how can I add this corner post, like this square with ball. It's now placed on the start and the corner point, but what if I want to add it in the middle of the railings or at any certain distance of my choosing? That's pretty simple. As you guys know, this is the start and this is the end of the railing. This is the one continuous railing. If we divide this railing into sections, we can get what we need to get. For example, let me show it to you. Select the railing, click on edit path, go to the project browser, click on level 1. This is one continuous, we have 3 continuous pieces of railings, one segment, second segment, and third segment. What I'd like to do is I'd like to divide these segments. Select this icon of a split element. Yeah, let's just make it divided over 11 feet. 11 feet over here, 13 feet over here. click on OK, go to the 3D view, and yes, what I did is, just let me redo the steps so you guys know what I did. Go to level 1. So let's just redo this. What I basically did is I just divided these segments into multiple parts by using the split element command over here. Now as you can see, this is one continuous length. Let's just make it into two parts. Now we have two pieces. That is why we are getting balusters on all of these ends. So that is how you guys can modify railings. You guys can change the properties of railings. And in the next part of this video, I would like to go over on how we can add materials to the balusters, how we can add materials to the railings, and also I would like to show you guys a very neat and handy shortcut that I use often in projects that I do. Thank you everyone, and I'll see you in the last part of the video. Hello everyone, and welcome to this last part on introduction to railings. This is where we left off in the last part of the video, and I will conclude this video by showing you guys how you can add materials to your balusters, and also I'd like to show you guys a very neat and handy shortcut that I use often in my projects. So let's get started. Now that we've added our balusters in, I would like to add materials to these balusters, and how I can do that, it's not that hard. Go to the families tab over here, and as you guys already loaded in this square post with ball in the previous part of the video, this family has been loaded in. So how do we find it? We go to the families icon over here, and we go all the way to the railings. Click on the railings, and we have the post square with ball. This is the one we loaded in, and this is the size that we were using, 6.25. Double click on this. This is the baluster over here. This is the post material right here. So click on the material and finishes icon, click on this, and just give it any material of your choice. Let's say I want to make a door frame. Click on OK, apply. So yeah, the color has changed, and we also have the dimensions available over here. We can change the dimensions if we want. Let's say if I make it 5, what happens? Okay, this is what we get. Let's just leave it at 0.3, the way it was. Apply. Yeah, much better. So this is how you change the properties of the baluster, such as the material and the sizes. Click on OK, and we can do the same for this single baluster over here, this small circular profile. Now the concept is pretty much the same. Baluster round, this is what we did. Click on this 1 inch icon over here, and yeah, baluster material, click on it, and let's just give it a color. Let's say, do I have white available? White, yeah, clad white. Okay, apply, click on OK. So yeah, this is how you guys basically play around with railings in Revit. I'm going to show you guys a very neat and handy shortcut that I use often when I'm working on my freelance projects. What is that? This is a file that I downloaded from the internet. You guys can get it as well. It's available on just type in railing families for Revit, and this will show up. If you guys can't find it, just let me know in the comments and I'll leave a link to this. But basically this file contains a ton of families for railings, a ton of families. Like if I were to show you, as you can see, railings, we have a great deal of icons over here, a ton of families. Go to 3D view over here. So yeah, let's see, for example, yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of railings available, a lot of railing types available over here. So instead of doing all of this yourself, even though it's very handy, and there's a reason I taught you guys on how to create railings yourself, the smarter way would be to get a file which has all of these railings already loaded in or made in, and just import them into the project. So how do you do that? Go to the project that you're working on. For example, this is the project that we're working on. Go to the manage tab, transfer project standards. This is the file that we need to transfer the railings from. Check none, and if I scroll down, click on railing types, click on OK, click on overwrite, just give it a few minutes. I'll pause the video and come. Okay, it's done. I thought it was going to take some time, but it's done. So the railings have been loaded in. Click on the railing over here, go to the properties, and voila, as you guys can see, we have a ton of different railing types available. This is how I tend to work with my projects to save time, and this is how you guys should work as well. So that's pretty much it for railings. I tried to go in depth of railing as much as I could, and I believe if you guys practice and watch this video, you guys will also have somewhat of an intermediate to expert level of an understanding of how to work with railings. Thank you everyone, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next part, in the next video. Thank you.